all you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
yeah, hey, well, we can hold
He's heating up!
Wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front line.
You lose.
Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest in. I'm tired of niggas, they front they blessings. They want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak.
He's heating up!
For the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode.
He's heating up!
Real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
He's on fire!
Real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah.
real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You and I get a laugh.
What's your name, fat body?
You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account?
That
You
Hansel's
just
so
fucked up
hot
with
right
apology.
now.
Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king in the apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire
You
fall,
trying to
I
squeeze
might
an inch
just
in
grow.
on me
I might
somewhere,
just grow
huh?
this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul.
Bitch, you
Ebony
strictly.
ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons.
Boom shakalaka!
Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real
You're not
fool.
making this easy on me,
For the
boy.
new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
stay woke. Real mode, I said stay woke. Real mode, stay woke.
Dodson, Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
You have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn?
Your father was a woman.
Pretend to be a king.
Everybody knows you never go full return. Yow. Yow. What do you think, huh?
I represent science.
I wrote the bill.
You're about to end up on Papa Swolio's naughty list.
I should be prosecuted.
What's happening?
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight! fuck yourself.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 test, 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 testing, testing, testicles, testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 20 Hundo and Fuatiocho of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole. You're back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexin' on all you beaches. Oh, the Falcon. The Falcon showing his claws today early. What's going on, fam-wise? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow everywhere that you possibly can. We are live streaming on every platform known to man. Let's fucking go. It is Tainty Tuesday, beaches. It is Tainty Tuesday. Don't be a beach, don't be a boosh, or you'll end up like Tainty Magooch, and you don't want to do that, do you? Make sure you check out thedailyswole.com for all the live stream links. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast if you haven't yet, featuring those in the pre-roll. So make sure you leave that review wherever you can, wherever you're banging your ear holes with the old knowledge cock. And of course, make sure that you share the podcast with someone that is in desperate need of some sick fucking gains. All right, we got some awesome SwoleFam posts featured from Swolenormous X. We also have some great questions. We're going to get into some veiny, thick, and juicy knowledge cock, and the balls deep is going to blow your nips off. It's Tainty Tuesday. I hope you are ready for an amazing show. What's going on, Nick? What's up, Florida Sunshine? What's up, Boo Sausage? Let's see, Peaceful Bandit. We got Christopher here, Trace, Cody. What's going on, Matthew? Hello, Sean. Hello, Puppet. Dustin, Danny, Pedro, John, Tyler, Coral, Amy. Oh my God, everyone's fucking here. Everyone's here. Let's fucking go.
He's heating up.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for today's episode. How about that new intro? That was fire. I should be prosecuted. Yeah, you fucking should be.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
You should be. We know that. We all know. All right, let's get into today's episode. We got to bust the nut open. We are going to put some respect on it. Drop in the comments down below. What did you smash today, or what shall you smash? Let's not waste another moment, shall we? Remember, everything that we talk about, join the fam, all those details are in the show notes down below. SwoleNormousX.com is the bee's knees, the knits tits. Join the fam today for less than a mocha choca fuccuccino. It's the best investment you'll ever make in your health and in your just mental wellness as well, because we are the proponents. We are the spear, the tip of the spear for common sense and logic up in this beach. And if you don't join the fam,
then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
There's definitely something wrong with you. All right, let's bust this nut open. Let's get Tessie out of here. Falcon, if you think this show is weird already, you haven't seen anything yet. It's about to go right off the fucking rails. All right, Falcon, let's summon you and bust this nut, shall we? Falcon. Oh, the last one got it. I got it. Put some respect on it. Thank you, Falcon. Appreciate it. That's a nice, crisp Swole card. Fucking glorious. Oh, that was good. Oh, hell. Oh, my God.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Oh, my God. Usually we don't let it rip right after the busting of the nut, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. Leo with that sparkling bone broth. Get some fucking help. Fam, Tainty Magooch. Let's get some more applause. We're very amped up. We're winding it up. We're gearing it up for an amazing show. All right, we're getting fucking amped. Hashtag Tainty Magooch. Drop down the comments down below. Now, if you're new to the Mancast, you might be like, Papa Swolio, what the fuck is a Tainty Magooch? So I leave it to you, fam. I leave it to those of you watching live right now. What is a Tainty Magooch? Define that. Define that for us, please. If anyone's brand new, if we're busting cherries today, drop in the comments. Help a brother out. All right? What is a Tainty Magooch? What is a Tainty Magooch to you? How do you define a Tainty Magooch? And of course, don't be a beesh, don't be a boosh, or you'll end up like Tainty Magooch. You don't want to be that. You don't want to, but why? Why do you not want to be a Tainty Magooch? So define that for everyone in the comments down below, and we shall moisturize. We shall get into that tip because let me tell you, we got to get a move on because we got to loosen this biatch up, right? We got to get in there. We're going in deep today, so there's no time to waste. Here we go, fam, for the tip. Moisturize. Always got to spit on it. Babe, nice. Just an inch. It's just respectful. It's cold outside. It's just respectful. All right. We are ready for, 2022. Are we, fam? Are we ready for 2022? Maybe. Mayhaps. We do have an announcement. Yesterday was our accountability meeting, so you can catch that episode inside Swole TV for members. If you missed out on episode 2047, we had a live call yesterday morning for our weekly accountability meeting, and we talked about some of the new releases. We did some planning for some of the content upcoming, and also we discussed the Swole Year release party, which is Wednesday, December 29th at 6 p.m. for members only. Don't miss out on that. We look back throughout 2021 and we have epic new releases. Now, we release new content every single week inside Swolenormous X, but on the release party days, on these special events that we have throughout the year, we have extra juicy releases. We really go Hambone Jones and we vomit some amazing content. So do not miss out on that. It's going to be a fun time. Wednesday, December 29th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Let's fucking go. We'll see you there. Okay. Remember, all the private content can be found over there at swolenormousx.com. All the downloads, the 7 pillars, all that good stuff. And we're going to get into some more of that. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But we got some exclusive posts from inside the SwoleFam. First post today from Coral. And Coral writes, I think Coral's with us today live. Going back and watching some old Daily Swole vids, episode 411 has some hard truths that I need to hear over and over again to keep holding myself accountable for the way I have treated myself, and also to keep in the right mindset to do what needs to be done to thrive as a healthy, happy beesh. I also want to thank all who shared their workout music with me. I have some complete bangers added to my list. Excellent. What's up, Coral? Heyo. Hey. Episode 411. There are a lot of great throwbacks. Collect them all. Listen to them all. Some of you have actually listened to all the episodes. Some of you have gone through and really, really caught up from the genesis of the Daily Swole. We got one from John. What's up, Jay? It's about to get serious, all because Monday evenings are leg day. Where I come from, if you're doing leg day with enough intensity, you can't afford to allow the anxiety of it all to linger in your head all week. Hit it as soon as possible. Hit it with all you got. Every morsel of nutrients on this plate will be stretched beyond its limits as I nearly crawl home tonight. And let me tell you, if you're just listening, we got a big old steak, we got a big old sweet potato, and what we got there? What is that? What's this thing? Are those beets? Are those like beet slices? What's going on there? I don't know what that is. I know what the steak and the sweet potato is. Those round discs look like beets or something of the sort. I don't know, but it looks good. It looks good. The steak looks good. And the sweet potato looks good. I'm assuming that's what they are. They kind of look, it looks beetish. Looks beetish. Let's see. Jen says a Tainty Magooch is a mental midget that wants to lose weight and have a better life, but won't put in the work. Bow. A Tainty Magooch is someone who thinks that their lived experience earns them special treatment. Indeed. Let's see. Christine. Tainty Magooch is that little bitch who isn't willing to work hard, make the time, make the effort. They have all the excuses. Yeah, stop whining,
Come on,
fucking tainty
stop
magooch.
whining.
Stop whining, you tainty magooches, you tainty magoochi. We got a SwoleFam post here from Megan. Megan got her Swole variant card, so a lot of you are going to be receiving some Swole cards either yesterday, today, or this week, just because we had a whole new batch going out. Megan writes, "Evening, Swole brothers and sisters. The excuses were strong these past few days, but I got the swift kick in the ass that I needed to keep going. Restarting the 90-day dash in the morning, and you bet your ass I'm going to go deeper. Can't wait for tomorrow's workout. Get your ass to the gym and make those sweet fucking gains. Hashtag Swole Slut, SwoleFam, fuck average, and Swole season." Oh, yeah. Megan getting nasty with it. Getting schnasty. All right, we got one from Mike inside the SwoleFam discussion boards on SwoleNormusX.com from Pillar Number 1 community section. And Mike writes, "Good morning, fam. As the sun rises on this Sunday morning, I'm looking forward to a long, refreshing walk and then an epic chest and tri pump at the gym later today. It'll be my last workout for a little while as my hip replacement surgery will occur tomorrow. I feel extremely proud and incredibly blessed. Over the past 2 years, I have taken back control of my life with the weight loss and strengthening my mind with knowledge, fortitude, and support with the best damn fam in the realm. Incredible support and an unbreakable spirit can unlock the inner beast from within for all of us. Although I'll be laid up for a while, I'll do what I can, continue to fortify my other pillars, and be a support for family and friends. More time for live Swolecasts as well. I have some massive physical, mental, and professional goals for the future, but the first step is getting all rehabbed and well. Get to the gym, fam, crush some iron, and continue to push yourselves to be better every day." And Mike, actually, this is from 2 days ago. So Mike had his surgery, posted a picture up, and from what I saw from inside, I believe it was the Facebook group, that Mike's doing well. So congratulations on a successful surgery, and best wishes on your repair. I'm glad that you can be here for more live casts, and take care of yourself. We are here for you, and definitely keep on plugging in, keep on posting, and keep us up to date on your rehab. So good for you, man. Good for you. I love that mindset. And our last SwoleFam post of the day, we got a couple. Samantha has a couple Swole privilege cards. She writes, "Manifesting my Swole privilege before I go to the gym." Ooh, I like that. You got some incense and 2 Swole privilege cards.
He's heating up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Inconceivable!
You got to be careful. You're going to make people jealous. Look at those Swole privilege cards. They're very similar looking too. You got some gold, you got some red. I like how they look very similar. You got twins. I think Samantha is completely and fully saturated with that Swole privilege. And not to mention, Swole privilege, make sure that you are not sleeping on your Swole variant. Now, a lot of you have already gotten your Swole variant apparel. I was wearing my Swole variant shirt yesterday, and we have like Swole variant stickers laying all over the house. So make sure you check out all the Swole Normus apparel over there at papaswolio.com. For being a listener of the show, you could save 10% off with code DailySwole. We have Swole variant. We have Go to the Fucking Gym. We have Swole privilege. We have the brand new Swole Since Birth apparel, and we got some new special epic releases that are dropping for the Swole New Year and for 2022. So definitely plug into all of that and get your Swole privilege. And why not wear it on your chest? Why not cover your nips with some Swole privilege? So awesome picture, Sam. Thank you so much for sharing. And cheers to Mike, Megan, John, Coral. Great SwoleFam post today. Fucking absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. Now, don't be slacking, fam. It is that time of year to execute on everything that you say that you wish you have done, you wish you had done in 2021, and that you keep on saying every single year that you're going to start with, which is why it's fuck your resolution season, because resolutions are bullshit. Everyone always asks me, is motivation important? How do I stay motivated? And the answer is I don't. Fuck motivation. Motivation's a waste of time. Motivation is it's really not worth spending attention on because it's essentially a feeling. It's an emotion that's going to come and go. And rather than worry about staying motivated and feeling like it all the time, how about you execute and you plan your day and you, schedule and prioritize your time for what will actually get done and what you need to get done? Because that's the only reason that's the only way that you're going to make progress is if you're doing what you need to do, not what you feel like doing. So the best way to do that is to join the fam today. We have all the tools that you need. Don't be a beesh. Don't be a boosh. Don't be a tainty magooch. Join the fam today over there at swolenormousx.com. Remember, you can get started for less than $5 and get access to all the private calls, the private live streams. We have a SwoleFam roundtable coming up this Thursday, which is going to be fucking awesome. So day after tomorrow, we have a SwoleFam roundtable at 6 p.m. So you don't want to miss out on any of that amazing action. And you can join and get access to all those things over there at swolenormousx.com. So make sure you are setting yourself up for success is the message. And it's very easy to wait until you feel like it, wait until it's the perfect time, whatever the fuck that means. Like, it's never the perfect time. It's never ideal. It's never going to be convenient to start changing these habits. You need to start at a very small level. You need to start with little, just nibble away at these habits and understand that you're making these changes for the rest of your life. And I think where most people fail or fall short is that they're not thinking long-term enough. They're thinking about, I want to lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds. They're thinking about a fucking number, looking at the scale. They're thinking about some kind of short-term goal, but that's not really what fitness is all about. That could be a stop. That could be something that you pursue on your journey. But if you are thinking long-term, you're going to make better decisions. You'll make better decisions with investments. You'll make better decisions with relationships. You'll make better decisions with your fitness. You'll just make better decisions if you think long-term. And humans are really, we're not used to making long-term decisions. We're used to making short-term gratifying decisions. We're usually looking or aiming, or we've evolved for instant gratification to satisfy hunger needs or shelter needs or get out of danger. So that's why we're looking for fast food. We're looking for fast entertainment. We're looking for just like junk input. And we get a lot of volume. We get a lot of random shit that just takes up our time and attention in our life with social media, with TV, with either politics or social issues or garbage people, you garbage food. We're just looking for these quick fixes. We're looking for these little, these little bumps, essentially, these little dopamine hits. But it's really about making the best decisions for the long term. And if you make those decisions, if you are thinking about long-term goals and what you want your fitness to look like at the end of your life, like towards the end, if you're thinking about how you want to be long-term, you'll make better decisions in the present because just of your perspective and your low time preference. So keep that in mind when you are, being mindful, you're practicing your brain gains, you're thinking about little impulses or cravings or just little short-term satisfactions that are really unfulfilling for the long term, that really aren't getting you closer to your goals, or really are not helping you. If you put these in a different perspective, you'll make better decisions overall. So just keep that in mind. It's a practice. Most people have it backwards. Most people go for the quick fix. They want something now. They want it soon. How fast can I bulk up? How long did it take you to do this? Everyone wants it now. People don't want to put in hard work over a long period of time, but that's really where it's going to stay. If you're getting short-term results, if you're taking shortcuts, that's not something that's actually going to be, it's not going to be etched in stone. It's not something that's really going to be resilient. You're not setting any long-term habits. You're just, let's say, cutting your calories 50%. Of course, you're going to lose weight. You're starving yourself, but you're going to gain it right back. You're just going to rebound really quickly because you're not really forming any quality habits. You're following some cookie cutter extreme dieting protocol that's essentially just geared towards losing the actual weight, making the scale number go down, but that's not actually pursuing health. You're not actually losing fat, building muscle, taking care of all the other aspects of your 7 pillars that are going to keep you consistent over the long term, that are going to maintain those results, which is why most, quote, diets fail. It's because most people do shit wrong. That's the fact. 95 to 98% of all diets fail. Well, 95 to 98% of people do shit fucking wrong. 95 to 98% of people are fucking lazy. That's just the fact of the matter. Most people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Most people don't really care. Most people are looking for shortcuts. Most people do things wrong. Most people. Yeah, that's why people are fatter and less healthy and, sicker than ever. It's because most people don't do shit correctly. So, those are kind of biased statistics, aren't they? You're getting a percentage from people that do shit wrong across the board. So you have to keep that into perspective. All right, that was a good rant. Let's get into some questions. All right. If you got questions, drop in the comments down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Matthew writes, most people have it backwards. Motivation follows action. Take action and the feeling of drive or, quote, motivation will follow. when those endorphins kick in. Just build that discipline. Do it because you need to do it. And trust me, you're going to feel like doing it sometimes, and sometimes you're not going to feel like doing it. But if you get it done because you have to get it done, regardless of whether you feel like it, you're going to get results. You're going to make progress because you're doing what you need to do. Feeling like it is convenient. Like, hey, I feel like doing it today. Well, that's great. That's going to make it easier to execute. Does it make it any different than if you didn't feel like it? You still needed to do it. So feeling like it was pretty much irrelevant, wasn't it? How often do you feel like brushing your teeth? Like, I really feel like it. You do it because you should, because you don't want your mouth to smell and taste like shit. Okay, so you take care of your dental hygiene. You know, you wipe your asshole because you don't want to have an itchy ass. You don't want to have scratch ass. You don't want your body to, you don't want to walk around smelling like a fucking toilet all the time. So you do things because you need to do them, not because it has nothing to do with you wanting to do them. All right. You sleep because you need to. Do you want to? Yeah, maybe, but you should. You need to for your health. You need to for recovery. There's a lot of things that you need to do that you do. You go to work to make money because you need to. Maybe you don't like your job. It's like, well, you still need to go. And then you can always work on the side to further your career and make adjustments and stuff like that. But you do what you got to do. We all do. We all have to do what we have to do. And if you do it regardless of whether you want to and feel like it, you'll make progress because objectively you're doing what you need to do. And motivation is really not a factor. You really don't need to. You should understand your why and your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing. And that can drive your discipline. That can drive your execution. All right, let's see. Let's take a question here. Sean, what's an exercise variation that hits the short head of the tricep? Just standing tricep extensions are great. Like all those movements, like the only way you're really going to hit the long head of the triceps is if you are doing, you're doing some shoulder extension because that crosses the shoulder joint. So if you're really interested in hitting some of those other, you can do overhead extensions, you can do some leaning extensions, but the short head of the tricep, you'll be fine just doing standing tricep extensions, really contracting and pushing out at the bottom, keeping your elbows in towards the body. That'll be plenty to get the short head of the tricep. Plenty, plenty, plenty. A lot of people aren't going to full a lot of people aren't putting like enough, they're not really squeezing that contraction enough. So, I mean, let me just go over like some of my favorite tricep exercises. I like overhead or leaning extensions. I do like incline skull crushers. I like them on a slight incline. I like those a lot. I do katana extensions with bands. You can do them with cables where you're kind of pulling from behind. That's nice as long as you have good elbow alignment. I also really do like Papa Swoleo presses. Those are great. Of course, you get a lot of core activation there as well. There's a lot of just subtle angle changes with your shoulder position, which will either hit like the long head a little bit more or it will hit the short head a little bit more. But bands are great for triceps. Cables, of course, are a classic. And if you have good elbow integrity and strength and you have good equipment for it, you can try like the easy curl bar and skull crushers. But it's kind of hit or miss depending on your, what kind of equipment you have and, if you have a good strength in your joints. A lot of people can kind of overdo those and create kind of inflammation and stuff like that too. Let's see here. Who dis guy, Papa Swoleo, on my third round of Scorched Earth. Sometimes I don't have access to a pull-up bar or door attachment for bands. What's a good supplement for pull-ups? Okay, you don't have a pull-up bar or door attachment for bands. So, like, what do you have? Like, you have bands, you have dumbbells, like what do you have? What are you working with? I mean, you can do, it depends. If you have chairs, you can have a table. You could actually do like inverted rows under a table. If you grab the sides of your table, if you have a kitchen table, you can be creative with, in the house. There's really no supplement for pull-ups. Pull-ups are pull-ups. I mean, if you're not doing inverted rows or doing a dumbbell or a band row, you say you don't have a door attachment for bands. I mean, anything that mimics that same movement. When I work out at home, I'm good. When I work out at my girlfriend's apartment, I don't have access to those things. Well, I mean, you go to the environment, you're making it harder on yourself then. Yeah, I mean, any way you can mimic that movement, whether it's like an inverted row on a piece of furniture, or, you know, nothing's really going to replace pull-ups than actually pulling your body weight. Even doing resistance training with like weights, you know, pulling your own body weight is a whole different ball game. Doing an actual pull-up is much different than doing a pull down with a cable, for example, at the gym. So, I mean, yeah, if you don't have access to anything to do that, you can't really mimic a pull-up without actually pulling your body weight. You could do an inverted row, like I said, if you have access to something like that to mimic. You could can you not bring a door attachment to your girlfriend's place? It's just a little piece of cloth usually that has, you know, traps in the door for the bands. Let's see, Jeremy, what are good workouts for the lungs? I'm still so out of breath all the time. Will that ease up as I lose weight? Well, make sure you're breathing in and out through your nose. You could practice some breathing exercises. You know, doing more cardiovascular activity. I mean, one of the benefits, you know, in terms of doing cardio, I'm not necessarily a big fan of just like running and just doing like steady state cardio, just running for long distances. Walking is great. Doing any kind of like high repetition movements that are training your cardiovascular system, whether it's with a mace bell, with a kettlebell, even with yoga, with doing like sun salutations and doing multiple rounds, 10, 20, 30 rounds of that, up, down, you know, is great for your body because you're getting your head below your heart and above, and you're really changing your position through space, which is really great for your cardiovascular system. And then your heart rate recovery. So doing things, it depends on how much space you have, depends on what you mean in terms of being out of breath, like all the time when you're training or all the time during your day. Like just when you're going around doing normal stuff. When you lose weight, as you lose weight, it's going to be easier for your body to lift the rib cage to get an oxygen. Yeah, sprints are good for lungs, but at the same time, making sure you're breathing properly and, you know, proper breath work, maybe, you know, in and out through your nose, doing like 6 breaths, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, just practicing that while you're meditating, sitting there, practicing those deep breathings and breathing in through your nose. You'll get more oxygen absorption if you're breathing in through your nose. So as you lose weight, because I know you're in a weight loss journey with your son, right, Jeremy? So, you know, as you go through this, it's going to be easier as you become more efficient, as you become lighter, you get rid of that extra weight on your body, and, you know, it'll be easier to move and it'll be easier to recover. Are you doing any kind of cardiovascular activity? Are you practicing yoga regularly? Because that's an excellent segue to help with your cardio, especially as you're getting started. Because if you're overweight a lot, you don't want to just necessarily be going and cranking and doing sprints and doing a lot impact, because you have a lot of extra body mass that's putting pressure on the joints, and you don't want to create any kind of like tendonitis or issues as a result of that. You can segue into more of those things as you lose the extra mass. Trace, you mentioned last week you eat seasonally. How do your meals change throughout the year? Yeah, generally. I don't necessarily, I notice I gravitate. I mean, living in Florida, for example, the weather doesn't change that much. It just gets a little bit less humid and gets a little bit cooler relatively. It's like hot as balls and the sun's out today, for example. With the shorter days, I just catch myself not eating as much fruit. I haven't craved fruit in the same way in the summer, longer, hotter days. I really want a lot more sugar in terms of like honey. I want more dates. I want more, you know, we have a lot of like, you know, or fresh fruit or frozen fruit. I tend to crave more of that. I've noticed just with the shorter days, I've gravitated a little bit more away from fruit, for example, which is appropriate for winter seasons and winter months. And some of you that are living in areas where there's a lot of snow, there's no fruit growing on the trees. And the problem with out of season, one, it's just like the shorter days. You don't need that same type of you don't need the same amount of sugar, for example. That's just not what you would normally have in living in that area. You'd have more proteins and fats, but also when you're shipping in fruit from thousands of miles away, in order to be fresh, if you purchased it, it's going to be picked early. So there's a whole different composition of that fruit that, can cause issues, or maybe not. It's not going to be the same ratio of glucose and fructose. There's usually higher lectin content, which can cause certain types of inflammation or maybe digestive issues for some people, if you're not picking them ripe off the tree. So if you're picking fruit a few weeks early and it's ripening off the vine, it's just not going to have the same flavor. Just has a different composition. This is not the same as like a tree ripened fruit. So there's other factors with, out of season. We just have amazing technology. We're able to ship fruit and things like that around the world, but still you can't have it rotting. You can't pick it fresh, because by the time it'll get to your supermarket 1,000 miles away, it'll be rotten. So they got to pick it early. But I tend to, when the days get shorter and it gets a little bit cooler, I tend to go a little bit just more protein and fat. Pedro, any potential plans on how to use cable attachments and incorporate with training? Well, I got a cable. I have a cable machine that I haven't set up yet, but I do have a cable that attaches to a pull-up bar. It was like $60 or something on Amazon. It's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, it's the same exercise you would do at the gym and things like that, but there'll probably be some workouts and some featured pumps and things like that, in terms of how I use this one particular cable. But cables, bands, very similar. If you have access to one and you want to set it up in your place, you would do very similar to what we would do for the band exercises. But I'll have some workouts and things that I'm doing with the cables. Yeah, if that's what you're referring to, someone having like a home system that you, like if you have a squat rack with a pull-up bar, you can get one of these cable systems that just loops over. It's really effective. It works really well. How about frozen fruit in winter months? Yeah, it depends on how you want to pursue this. I mean, if you're living in a cold winter climate, you wouldn't have access to fruit, really. I mean, we have this kind of clash between technology and what's actually natural for our bodies, right? So you wouldn't really have fruit. You might have dried fruit. You might have things that are preserved, because the winter months you wouldn't have access, there wouldn't be fruit on the trees. But at the same time, we do have the ability to freeze fruit. And one of the things I do like about frozen fruit in general is that it's picked when it's ripe. And it's picked more when it's ripe, and then it's frozen, flash frozen, whatever. So you actually have fruit that's in better seasonal condition all year round. If you're getting fresh fruit, unless it's local and in season, and the reason why local in season fruit is optimal, it's because it's probably picked, let's say, down the street from you, because it's local and it's in season. It's local to you. That way it's going to be picked and like brought to a farmer's market down the street. So you're going to get really ripe, fresh fruit. If it's from across the world, it's going to have to be picked before it's actually ripened, so it doesn't rot by the time it gets to you. So frozen fruit in winter months, I just be mindful. When it comes down to the winter, usually humans are just better off going more towards proteins and fats. Doesn't mean you can't have some kind of fruit, but shorter days, colder climates, it depends on where you live and depends on your energy expenditure and, what works best for you, in my opinion. We're kind of at this precipice and this trade-off between, what would have been occurring thousands of years ago versus like, okay, what's our technology allow for us and what makes sense for our biology? Because our biology is still pretty ancient. I had some frozen fruit, a bunch of it the other day, and I haven't had frozen fruit in a while just because I just really haven't had the desire for it. And I think it's just because of the shorter days. It's just because of it's really nice and warm and sunny for the most part. But I found myself navigating a little bit away from fruit a little bit more in the winter time, at least this time of year, which is what, December? Yeah. In June, we have the mango tree is ripe, and I'm pounding fruit all summer. I love fruit. But it's really, it's a big difference when you're getting stuff that's in season. Nick, I have a knot in my lower back that I can feel pressing against the sciatic nerve. In your lower back, that's not really, let's see. You really don't want to foam roll your lower back. Should I do heat or ice on it? Have you been foam rolling the sciatic nerve actually grows through or just below the piriformis. So I would foam roll your piriformis. As far as I'm aware, the lower back isn't really going to be a factor. And remember, you have pain referrals. So a lot of times where you feel pain or discomfort isn't necessarily where it's coming from, because it could be just radiating off certain nerves or other muscles, like tend to sometimes guard certain areas. So if you have an injured muscle, you might have other muscles in the area lock up and kind of tighten around it to essentially protect an inflamed muscle or a joint, for example. So you might find different areas that feel uncomfortable or really tight, but that's not necessarily the source of the issue. So I would try foam rolling your piriformis and mobilizing that, probably heat, in just my opinion. Ice is beneficial ice is more for acute injuries. Let's say you have a sprain, or like, you were doing an exercise or something, like, like your shoulder hurt, and then you ice your shoulder or something that's like immediate inflammation type thing. And, usually with something that's chronic, heat can loosen it up and maybe relax the tissues a little bit. So maybe sauna, maybe some deep SMR, get in there with a tennis ball or a harder foam roller or something like that. Sciatic issues and that nerve it's really uncomfortable when you're foam rolling it if it's aggravated. We have that inside X, especially if you go in the Swollen 7 mobility section, we have that for the piriformis. Let's see, Josh came across an article about the protein, carb, and fat intake of Vikings, and the reason they were more successful than people like the English was because they had a higher protein intake. Totally makes sense. Brain function, organ function. Yeah. I could see that. Nicole, Papa Swole, for someone whose body adjusts quickly and gains muscle easily to exercise and weights, is it advantageous to consistently change routines and exercises every couple of weeks? A lot of times people change their routine too much. They change it more for like mental stimulation rather than what their body needs. Your body will adapt to the same shit. Your body will adapt to the same shit, but like it will continue to adapt. Like if you're increasing the overload, just basic exercises, you can make exponential gains just with like fundamental basic exercise. You don't need to be mixing up your lifting, every couple weeks per se. You can, but in other words, just you don't need to make drastic. You don't need to be changing complete exercises, maybe just adding another set or maybe adding a different angle subtly to one exercise, right? Like an incline bench or go up 10 or 20 degrees rather than doing a flat bench, for example, just to pick an exercise out of random. And no one really gains muscle easily per se. I'm not sure how you're measuring that. You might think you're gaining muscle. It could just be muscle and fat. I'm not sure what you mean by gaining muscle easily. I think a lot of people would love to gain muscle easily, but that's not really how it happens. So you might think strength isn't necessarily muscle size, by the way. So if you're trying a new exercise and you get stronger quicker, that's also muscle coordination and motor unit recruitment and synchronization. It's not necessarily hypertrophy. So it depends on how you're training your nutrition and how you're measuring that too, because it's really hard just by like how you feel or just by looking in the mirror to know whether you're putting on, whether it's muscle or fat or both, and what percentages and what ratios, unless you're doing DEXA scans and something a little bit more detailed. But yeah, you can change things every couple of weeks. You can. I would stick to the same routine for at least a few weeks. And if it's not broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of people change things because they think they need to keep on changing things. And you keep on changing things unnecessarily, and then you're always adding a new stimulus and a new alarm reaction and a new shock to your body. You want to give your body time to adapt and to excel. So if you're changing shit all the time, if you're changing exercise and you're doing complete random stuff, doesn't mean you can't build muscle, doesn't mean you can't build some endurance, but you're also kind of hamstringing yourself, pun intended, because what you're doing is you are not allowing your body a chance to adapt and to master a movement and to master a certain thing. One of the benefits to keeping a certain training regimen for a few to several weeks is that you really you know what to expect. You can focus on executing those movements better rather than neurologically just creating this kind of, what's the word? This kind of novel experience. You know, just because something's new and just because something's different and just because you get a little bit sore because you change the angle a little bit doesn't mean it's building muscle, doesn't mean that it's actually getting you, more muscle mass, doesn't mean it's actually working optimally for you. Just because you're sore doesn't mean that you're building muscle in the way that you want to. It's just a different mechanical tension that causes a different type of stress on your body. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily building more muscle. It's how you train the muscle. It's a kind of overload. It's a kind of rep range. It's the volume. And it's, of course, the nutrition, sleep, and all that stuff. But you guys can follow. You guys can follow up with some of that. And I'm just putting down some ideas. I mean, everyone's going to build muscle at different rates, of course. But it's like hair. When someone says, like, oh, my hair grows so fast. You know, what's the difference between someone whose hair grows fast and someone whose hair grows slow? Like what, like a quarter of an inch every month or two? It's like, it's not like, oh my, people sometimes think that their hair grows so fast. It's, if you actually measured it, it's really not that much different. Trace, I've seen many fitness influencers advocate for eating sugar, donuts, cake, etc. after workout to replenish glycogen stores. What are some better choices to help with that? Food. Food, like have some raw honey, have a sweet potato, have some carbs, like eat some food. Yeah. A lot of that is just an excuse to eat garbage. Right? A lot of it's just an excuse to eat garbage. Like I eat sugar, donuts, cake. It's like, yeah, a lot of people have eating disorders and cover that up because like, well, I'm replenishing glycogen stores. Yeah. Is that right? In my opinion, if you're eating fake ass shit that's causing other kinds of damage to your body, it's not optimal. Just because you might get sugar in faster, but you get plenty in if you're eating real food too. If you're eating some sweet potatoes or eating some fruit, like you'll be fine. You'll be fine. A lot of times it's an excuse to eat shit, and the other damage that's doing to your gut and your gut biome and other types of side effects that can compound over time from, jacking your blood sugar up. Long term, again, going back to what we talked about earlier, long term vision. A lot of people don't really think long term enough. And yeah, it tastes good now. And you're doing that for years and years and years and years. And we see what the health of our country is when people get into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like we see the outcomes. So, keep that in mind. These are just some ideas. Some of these questions are really deep, and I'm just trying to give you some feedback, instant feedback. Nicole, I have myostatin resistance and a condition that my muscles never relax to a normal state. Okay. So I'm not an expert in myostatin, but that's a protein that regulates muscle development or muscle growth. So like those bulls, you ever see those bulls that are just like jacked, like just muscles, like these German bulls or something like that, or cows. I forget where they're from. I forget what they're called. But they don't have myostatin. They don't have like the regulator that regulates or limits how much muscle your body would build. So do you do anything for that, Nicole? Do you do anything for that? Like, is there anything in particular that you have to do on a regular basis? Or is it just like, I build muscle easily? I mean, good for you. That's good. That's a good thing. I'm not sure what the side effects are. Like what some of the downsides are, like how severe your situation is. Like, are you very muscular? Would you say you're very muscular as it is? Or is there anything you have to be careful of in particular with that? All right. Good questions. Good questions so far. That's good shit. We can take a question from Instagram and then we'll get into some shit post because that was pretty deep. This one's from Lily G. Simon. Papa Swolio, how to not let college fuckers / college peers interfere with me and my goals. Tell them.
Go fuck yourself.
Tell them to go fuck yourself. Come on, fam. What's going on here? What's going on with Lily? Don't let college fuckers and peers interfere with you. Seriously. I mean, a lot of people let everyone interfere with their lives. Most people let everyone interfere with their lives. Everyone interfere with their goals. Most people don't have the same goals that you will. Most people don't care about their health. Most people don't. I have that card over here. We've given away those Swole cards before. Most people don't, straight up. And the reason why most people don't is because it's easier to not. It's easier to not do. It's easier to not set better habits when all of society is going one direction, is going for instant gratification, is going for the easiest way out, right? Rather than learn something, create value, let me just complain about shit on Twitter or on TikTok. Rather than take care of my health, let me just be an advocate for obesity and be like, obesity is body positive. You're a mean person if you say otherwise. Okay. Like, if you want to be in denial, if you're one of these fucking people, it's like, most people think like that. Most people think like a victim. Most people will not have discipline. Most people just go along with the hamster wheel. They'll do what everyone else says. They'll do what everyone else does. They'll do whatever anyone else won't be offended by. They'll just do what other people, they'll do what doesn't create a stir. They won't create any ripples. They'll just go along. They'll nod. They'll say, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. When should I show up? When should I go home? When can I, can I go to the bathroom? Like, can I, please, fucking can I? So most people are sheep. And that's not an exaggeration. It's just the truth. Most people are. So you just, like, if what you're doing, if you're doing things for the right reason, you're doing things because it's right for you, then literally fuck everyone else. You have to separate yourself from those jabronis or jabronettes. It's tough in college because you're probably living with some of them. But that's on you. That's on you. Choose not to let them. Agreed. Cerny, ask yourself why you're letting them interfere. Indeed. Tell them to fuck off. Same goes for family and friends, people that don't support your vision and what you're trying to do. Yeah, tell them to get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. Come on. Fuck out of here. I'm trying to make some gains.
That's deep.
All right, remember, don't be a beach, don't be a boosh, or you'll end up like Tainty Magooch. Good questions today. Hopefully gave some decent answers.
That did it for me.
Yeah, good questions. Good questions. I'll answer the best that I can if I have the information or my own opinions on it, but make sure that you rewind if you miss some of that. We do questions every single day. If you're new to the show, we'll do some more tomorrow. If you didn't get your question answered or you want to follow up, definitely do that. We got some balls deep posts. Let's get into it because the first one is absolutely off the charts. We're not going to do this. Oh my God, we have like a 19 post thing. We're not going to do that today because we got some good videos. We'll do that tomorrow perhaps. But this first one, anyone a James Bond fan? Is anyone a James Bond fan? All right, so we got some news that I don't know if this is really going to happen because I don't know how badly they want to lose money, but this was recently dropped online that James Bond goes woke. We already know that. 007 producer says James Bond may be, quote, non-binary. Okay. All right, settle down. Hold on.
What the fuck is that?
No one knows what that is, by the way. No one knows what non-binary is. It's just like, I don't know what I want to be. I'm kind of in between. I don't like you calling me a man or a woman. Okay, whatever. It's like, go play in the corner. Go eat some more crayons. You make James Bond non-binary and you are not going to make any money. You're not going to make any money. James Bond is not a woman. James Bond is a man who likes to bang women and solve mysteries and shit. James Bond, that's the character. And here's the thing. If you want to make a different character, then make a different character. There are female superheroes and stuff and female badasses, right? You see movies like Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Aeon Flux, and I haven't seen some of those. But they're female assassins and they're really good movies. Like, you can make awesome movies like that. Just write a new character. If you want them to be non-binary, make another movie. Seriously, make another movie. Write another character that it actually fits. Like, you don't have to change the person. You don't have to change the color of someone's skin. You don't have to. You can write a new character. You can make another thing. Make another thing with someone that doesn't know if they're man or woman. Yeah, I don't like to be classified as okay, go over here. Go on woke TV and make it. Seriously, if you do this, they will make no money. And that's why most movies and most TV shows are bombing, because they keep on trying to pander to a little loud minority of people who just want attention. They just want more attention, and they want power. They want control, and they will leverage and say whatever the fuck they need to that you can't argue, like this, because it doesn't make sense. there you go. So maybe if they do this, Bond will have a septum piercing, and that'll be fucking great. That'll be great. Yeah. Yeah, James Bond could be a lesbian black woman. Great. That's going to do fantastic at the box office. Like, no one wants to be preached to, right? No one wants to be, like, don't push that shit in my face. If I see something where it's like, I don't know, they come out with, I don't know, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Just make a new fucking character. Seriously. Stop trying to change all the characters to... Just write a new one. I don't know what else to say. Just write a new one. Write a new one. You want a black James Bond? It's like, fine. Like, who cares? Just do it. Literally, look, if you make it... Here's the thing. If you make a good movie, people will go see it and they'll like it. If it's a good movie. Producer says James Bond may be non-binary. Great, that's what we want. We want our James Bond. James Bond. Sucking a fat cock. Great. Fantastic. Good, do it. But that's not what non-binary means. Oh, he's just going to come down in high heels one day, you know? Playing poker with like high heels on and, you know, long nails and lipstick or something. Like what? He feels like a woman today? Who fucking cares? Non-binary. The fuck out of here. Come on. If you want to live your life the way you want to live, but stop changing characters to suit these absurd narratives. It's like, just write a new character, make a new superhero or, or just a new hero like James Bond. Fucking just make something else. Write something else.
What's in the box?
Write something else. And if it's good, people will go see it. And it's like, cool. God, there's so many movies where like, if it's good, it's good. Just make it good. Have good writing. Doesn't have to have virtue signaling. Doesn't have to have this whole fucking like oppressive narrative behind it. Just make a good movie and people will like it. And they're not going to care about the person's sexuality. Maybe you have a gay superhero and it's a great fucking movie. Then it's a great fucking movie. Cool. Like that should have nothing to do with the plot. It has nothing to do with the plot. It's like, fine. All right. These are some examples of thin privilege. You ready for this? I know. There's a picture. Examples of thin privilege. So you can shop for clothing in any store. Is that thin privilege that you can shop for clothing in any store? Is that thin privilege, or is that you are too fat for most clothing companies, which might bring up some other questions about like, why are you? Why do your lifestyle habits not match what most clothing stores will provide for? Have we done this one already? No. Oh, of course it looks familiar. We talk about thin privilege all the time. Number 2, your body fits in between restaurant tables. All right, good one. If your body fits between restaurant tables, that's thin privilege. Oh, I have thin privilege because I can fit, I can fit between restaurant tables. Is that my privilege? Or is it because I am just not morbidly obese? Your doctor doesn't blame all your symptoms on your weight. Well, if you are obese, your symptoms are likely because of your poor lifestyle habits, and your weight is a symptom. Is that not true? Your weight's a symptom of your lifestyle habits. So technically, your weight is a symptom. Airplane seats fit you and your seatmates don't grimace when you board. I don't blame. I've been next to someone who is exceptionally like probably 500-600 pounds, like it was squished against the window. Yeah. Airplane seats can't be bigger because then no one will be able to afford to fly, or the plane will not be able to lift off the ground. So that's not thin privilege. That is like physics. It's physics and it's cost efficiency. If the seats are bigger on a plane, guess what that is? That's a private jet, or that's first class. That's why they're so much more expensive. Would you like a routine trip on an airplane to be $1,000? It probably will be as a result of inflation anyway. But then you're going to have obese people that are like, finally you have big chairs. Well, how come it's more expensive? Because we can travel less people. We can't transport as many people, so we're going to have to charge each person more. Yeah, it's not free to fly a fucking plane around the world. It's not free to fly your ass through the sky. Number 5, chairs in public spaces fit and support your body. Hold on. It's cutting off at the bottom here. Chairs in public spaces fit and support your body. I'll tell you, if a chair does not fit and support your body, whose fault is that? Is that the chair's fault? Is that the chair's fault? Is it the person that put the chair there? They didn't think about every possibility. They didn't think of like a walrus possibly sitting on it. Look, if you're too big, and again, these are just arguments to not take responsibility for your situation. Very rarely are there circumstances where it's not your doing at all. It's like you were born without a thyroid. You have a very serious condition like a tumor or something on. That's rare. That's not common. Most commonly, it's poor lifestyle habits. So if it's poor lifestyle habits, that's your doing. So you're blaming society for not catering to your mishaps, for your poor lifestyle habits, for your choices. Okay? You can't blame other people for your choices. That's the fact of the matter. You are responsible. You are responsible. This is just blaming other people for your problems. Another one, blood pressure cuffs, hospital gowns, and MRI machines fit your body. So if you are those evil MRI machines, now hopefully you don't need to have a blood pressure cuff on you all the time, or you're not wearing a lot of hospital gowns. You know, here's the thing. When you're obese, yeah, you're usually around these things a lot more because you're not healthy. So again, think about this. If blood pressure cuffs don't fit you, if hospital gowns don't fit you, if MRI machines don't fit you, think about that. You are an anomaly. You're obese to the point of being not really in the realm of what human beings are supposed to be. Just a thought. People don't judge your food choices when you're thinner. Yeah, I can kind of see that. And, you know, everyone's metabolism or everyone, you know, stores fat at different rates and epigenetics and maybe your parents and other issues, but people might not judge your food choices. I judge food choices for people that are thin or obese. If you're eating shit food, that's an eating disorder. You're eating fake ass fucking food. That's a real fundamental issue. But at the same time, if you're obese, you certainly shouldn't be eating that shit. Doesn't mean that if you're thinner, that you're doing something good for your body. But if you're morbidly obese, then yeah, that's 10 or 1,000 times even more obvious that you shouldn't be consuming that. Most of these things shouldn't be consumed by humans, period. So if you're already horrifically unhealthy, then it's definitely not a good idea. And let's see. People don't mock or patronize you when you exercise. So people mock or patronize obese people when they exercise. I don't think they should do that either. I think that's atrocious. If someone makes fun of someone who's obese that's exercising, I think that's fucked up. So I don't know anyone that's mocking fat people in the gym. I never would. I think that's where people should be training, wherever they're doing. If you're walking out, exercising, that's great. I don't know where this mocking. I think a lot of times people think that other people are judging and thinking and saying things. You know, it's in your head because you have so much self-hatred and you're so you're so self-conscious that you think everyone's looking at me, everyone's making fun of me. Chances are people aren't. And if they are, who cares? Like if you're worrying so much about what other people are thinking or saying, you know, that's another issue entirely. So I don't know who's doing that. Usually these things are made for people that are just so emotionally broken, that have broken themselves or eat their feelings. And then, you know, it's better if you blame the world rather than take responsibility. So thank you, Gatewell Therapy Center, for helping obese people and unhealthy people blame the world for their fucking problems. Great. That's a win. Very successful. That's going to help a lot. It's going to help a lot. You know, you really want to make some changes, blame everyone else for your problems. Excellent. Excellent. Michael, my weight was a cause of deteriorating my joints for a few years. Not the only reason, but a factor and a variable for sure. And Mike says, I'm wearing a hospital gown now and it's big enough for a whale. Well, I'm glad your surgery went well, bro. So maybe if you're a death fat or if you're in Infinifat, maybe it won't fit. Yeah, I've seen hospital gowns. They look enormous. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the hospital gown issue is. Like so many So many gowns. I wear these gowns so often that it's uncomfortable. Well, why are you wearing so many hospital gowns? Maybe you shouldn't be in the hospital so much. All right. We got 2 videos. We got oh my God, we got this. The mushroom head has returned. Mushroom head. Let's do another post first. You can drop in the comments. Let's drop in the comments a number 1 or a number 2, because we got the mushroom head and we have something else about misgendering. But we have one more post.
What's in the box?
We have one more post here. This is called Gingerbread Men Provide. This is from Food Life Freedom, Emma Townsend. So gingerbread men provide niacin, pleasure, thiamine, social connection, fats. Is there any fat in gingerbread cookies? It's probably all fucking sugar. Comfort, protein, fun, carbohydrates, iron, satisfaction. No. Gingerbread, does it have any iron in it? What? Iron, niacin, thiamine, protein? No, they don't. Social connection. I don't see any of those other things. Pleasure, social connection, comfort, fun, and satisfaction. Satisfaction, pleasure, and comfort. Talk about how many times can I say the same thing? Comfort, pleasure, satisfaction. Social connection and fun. If you need to eat cookies for social connection, your life is fucking broken. Your life is broken. I need to eat cookies to connect with people. I must connect with people. Give me that cookie. Give me the cookie. Who told you can eat my cookies? Yeah. And another thing, I agree, Bao. How dare they assume the gingerbread's gender? Gingerbread men? What about the gingerbread women?
How dare you?
How could they? How could they?
Chicks will dig you. Or dudes, or whatever gender thing you're into.
My God. Where are the gingerbread women at? Where are the gingerbread women at? We need more gingerbread women acceptance. For God's sake. For God's sake. I don't see a dick there. Oh, maybe that's why. Gingerbread non-binary. Gingerbread theys. Gingerbread they. The gingerbread they. Okay. So we have a number 1 or a number 2. Number 1 or number 2. I saw a couple 2, a couple 1. Drop in the comments down below. I think it's a non-binary gingerbread. I think it's non-binary, honestly. I just can't tell anymore. All right, we have a lip filler and we have misgendering. I don't know which one's stupider. Stupid is as stupid does, Johnny.
My name's Forrest Gump.
Should we do misgendering? I guess we're just talking about gender, so we'll do the lip filler next. Bun gingers. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go.
What's in the box?
All right, this is called misgendering. Uh-oh, now we've gone and done it.
Explain why misgendering is an act of violence. I know this sounds extreme, and I know I talk about this a lot, but...
Okay, gonna pause you right there, bro Jackson. If you're just listening, I can't explain this to you. It's, it's a dude that looks like a woman. You get it. What's this person's name? MX Duran. Oh, so it's MX. So you're not doing Mr. or Mrs. anymore. It's MX. Oh shit. Is that what we're doing now? Instead of Mr. or MS, we're doing MX, like Wimixon or Mexon. Oh God. Let me first off, before we get into this, before I play the whole thing, this person's saying, let me explain why misgendering is an act of violence. I'm going to go right ahead and say it's not. Okay? I'm going to go right ahead and say that it's not violent at all. Those eyebrows are violent. I'm going to Google this right now. So, violence definition. Ready for this? Ready for this? Okay. Violence, behavior or treatment in which physical force is exerted for the purpose of causing damage or injury. Should I say that again? Behavior or treatment in which physical force is exerted for the purpose of causing damage or injury. So physical force. Last time I checked, words do not provide physical force. Be nice, Nick. Be nice, Nick. That's not appropriate. Okay, here we go.
Explain why misgendering is an act of violence. I
It's
know
not.
this sounds extreme, and I know I talk about this a lot,
You probably
but this
do.
is because the situation is extreme.
It's
Getting
not.
misgendered as a trans and non-binary person not only triggers the trauma of being conditioned into a gender that is not ours, but it also triggers the trauma of existing in a world that at large would prefer we did not exist. So
You know what? I have never thought in my entire life, never thought in my entire life that I wish trans people didn't exist. I've never thought that. I still don't. I mean, there's different cultures, there's different races, different religions. Like, everyone exists. Like, it's not my choice. Like, I don't have any problem with people existing. I have a problem when you start trying to manipulate language and pretend like words are violence and playing the victim to leverage attention, leverage love, leverage an audience, gaslight people and make it seem like biology doesn't exist. Like, we still live in the world. We still live in a tangible reality in some cases. So, I mean, that's nothing prefer you did not exist. Don't speak for logical people. Please don't speak for logical people. That's violent. That's violence against me. This is not violence. Okay? As I said, those eyebrows are violent, if anything.
ours, but it also triggers the trauma of existing in a world that at large would prefer we did not exist.
Okay, I'm just pausing this throughout because I want to take this one step at a time. The trauma, okay? Like, you can't throw out the word trauma and act like no one can say anything because everything's a trigger nowadays. If it's based on your feelings, everything's going to hurt your feelings that you don't like, that you don't want to happen. And that's how, that's how these extreme small voices, very, very loud, leverage power and attention and manipulation. Has nothing to do with your feelings. Your trauma is your trauma. Like, if you want to be happy, that's a choice. It's a choice to be happy. Your trauma is your trauma. You can't hold other people responsible for something that triggers you. It's like, that's on you. Stop trying to control what other people say and do. It's not violent. You're just very, 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 very hypersensitive. Sounds like a you thing. Sounds like a you issue.
Getting misgendered can feel like a smack in the heart.
It's what the fuck, bro? You know what's a smack in the heart? You know what's a smack in the heart? Getting children vaccinated and causing myocarditis. That's a smack in the fucking heart. What does that mean? Getting misgendered can feel like a smack in the heart. Your heart's a muscle that pumps blood. Okay? You don't have your heart doesn't have a mind. Boom, boom. Is that what this sounds like when the valves are closing? The sniffles can feel like a smack in the heart, for fuck's sake.
Represents all that we are up against. And yes, smack in the heart.
I'm gonna play that again.
We did not exist. So getting misgendered can feel like a smack in the heart. It represents all that we are up against. And yes, mistakes absolutely happen. But let's say you turn a corner and accidentally smack someone across the face. You wouldn't immediately be like, hey, look, it was an accident. You would.
Are we talking about New York City when you just go around the corner and someone will just stab you in the fucking neck? Are we just talking about violent crimes like in Chicago, New York City, and San Francisco? Or are we talking about, is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about? You're not walking around the corner smacking someone in the face and be like, oh, look, it was an accident. I'm sorry. If someone walks up to you and slaps you in the face, that is nowhere even close to the same realm as being misgendered. If you look like a chick, you're going to get called a chick. If you look like a dude that's dressing like a chick, you're probably going to be like, well, that's a dude that's dressing like a chick, that looks like a chick. Like, I look at you and it's like, that's a dude that has long hair and is kind of acting like a woman. It's just the way it looks to me. So misgendered. I don't know what you want to be called. I really don't. I can't say I care. I mean, if you're interacting with someone, like, yeah, I'm not saying I would be like a dick to someone's face and be like, I'm not calling you that, like argue it, but I'm not going to say anything that I don't want to say. You cannot compel speech. That's not what the First Amendment's all about. Like, why are you trying to control what other people say? And why are you trying to equate physical violence to someone calling, like someone just using their eyes and observing what's biological common sense? It's just desperate attention.
Smack someone across the face. You wouldn't immediately be like, hey, look, it was an accident. You would tend to their pain and make sure it doesn't happen again. But then
I'm not the only one that heard that, right? I'm going to play that again. What? I can't wait to hear the story again.
You turn a corner and accidentally smack someone across the face. You wouldn't immediately be like, hey, look, it was an accident. You would tend to their pain and make...
No, I wouldn't. If I walked around the corner and smacked someone in the face, do you think I would tend to their pain? I'm just tearing apart this stupid argument. I probably walked around and slapped them in the face on purpose. Why would it be like, oh, you okay? I'm going to tend to your pain. No, I just slapped you in the motherfucking face, biatch. What'd the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap! Charlie Murphy. You don't slap someone in the face randomly walking around a corner and then tend to their pain. What the fuck? Talk about a tainty magooch. This is a tainty magooch. Let me do that again.
And accidentally smack someone across the face. You wouldn't...
I need this as a soundboard. I need some of this audio as a soundboard.
Immediately be like, hey, look, it was an accident. You would tend to their pain and make sure it doesn't happen again. But then every time you turn that same corner, you continue to smack that person. Yes, it may still be unintentional.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine just like the same person? Can you imagine the same person walking around the corner? You're just walking around like, boom, got you again, bitch. Boom, another slap in the face. Can you see just like walking around the corner slapping the same person in the fucking face over at like Groundhog Day? Just slapping the same fucking person. You think that person would probably go around a different corner, right? I'm gonna take a left today. I don't feel like getting slapped across the fucking face. I gotta play that again. This is so stupid.
Doesn't happen again. But then every time you turn that same corner, you continue to smack that person. Yes, it may still be unintentional, but at a certain point...
This doesn't make any sense. How do you slap someone unintentionally? Like, I just walk around the same corner every day. Slap, motherfucker. Slap. It might be unintentional. It's not supposed to make sense. Let's just be honest.
A lack of intention is a choice. So maybe first you have to...
The lack of intention is a choice? What?
Lack of intention is a choice. So maybe...
At a certain point, the lack of intention is a choice. The lack of intention is a choice.
First, you have to take in the fact that this causes real harm, and then approach your misstep with the level of awareness and effort that it will take to stop hurting us. I love you.
Denied. No, thank you. Appreciate it. I don't need your love, just like I don't need to amend any of my behavior, my words, or my actions around your feelings and sensitivities. You can do what you want for your life. You can dress however you want. You can say what you want. It's freedom of speech. It's an amazing country. That's why, that's why we're still, for the most part, free as opposed to many other countries in the world right now. But your feelings are not my responsibility. They're not. Nothing. This is obvious to people. Like, you're not going to, this is not accidentally slapping someone in the face. You know, if you don't make it obvious, you might get misgendered. Well, if you are born a man and you want to either transition or dress like a woman, like, this is where, like, you have that fundamental, like, you're just bumping like negative poles of like a battery. You're just like, this just doesn't fucking work. Like, biologically, when you look at someone who's trans, you know, it's like something looks it looks different. Like the human mind just picks up on anomalies. It picks up on anomalies, micro expressions, and things that don't add up. I'm fine with people living how they want to, but again, I am wholeheartedly against trying to like manipulate speech and pretend like it's not violent. So if someone makes an honest mistake, like, oh, I didn't know because you completely, everything looks like a woman. Oh no, but I'm a man. It's like, you can misgender someone based on their mood. Like people have this like fluid gender fluidity where like, oh, I feel like a woman today. I feel like a man. So you can never win. You could always, it's like a constant moving bullseye, and it's a constant victim bullseye, for example. So you go down this rabbit hole and it never ends. It never ends because there's endless amounts of genders that people will claim to have. And then everyone's going to want their belly rubbed and back scratched. And, you know, it's just biology and science. There are men and women. It's like pick one, and then it is what it is. If you want to live your life as one or the other, it doesn't change what you are biologically, but you know, you can live your life how you want. Just don't control what other people say. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that's appropriate. Like, I don't care about this person. Like whatever this person wants to do is fine. But when you say like, oh, your words are violence against me. No, it's not. Just because you are extremely sensitive to everything and you're trying to get followers on TikTok doesn't mean that anything that I can possibly say are violence. I can say a ton of different things. It's not violence. You know why? Because these are sounds that come out of my mouth. They are not violent. There's no physical force. There's nothing that is damaging you. You're allowing yourself to be damaged. You take offense. No offense given. I made this comment on my videos for on one of my videos for TikTok. I was like saying, like, you know, if you take offense to my videos, that's on you. I'm not giving offense. You're taking it. I'm not offending you. I'm not fat shaming you. If you feel like you're being fat shamed, it's probably because you know you should be making changes and you're doing it to yourself. I'm going to state my opinion. I'm going to state some pretty blatant black and white truths. And if you don't like it, then that's not my responsibility for you to like it. That's not my responsibility for you to be in a good mood. That's not my responsibility for you to be happy. It's not my responsibility. That's yours. It's like, why do some people have thick skin? And why are some people trans and they don't give a fuck? Like most people that I've ever met that are trans are like, they don't subscribe to this nonsense. They live their life and they're great people. They don't fall into this fucking activist bullshit because they're not desperate for attention. They just want to be accepted and live their life. And guess what? They do. And it's all good. Whether you're gay, lesbian, straight, whatever you want to do. It's like, if you just fucking live your life, no one fucking cares. Most people don't give a shit because you're not up in someone's grill. When you get up in other people's faces saying like, you have to say this because when you do this, then it hurts my feelings and it's violence. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's the only reason why I talk about some of this shit. It's because no. If you're encroaching in my realm of what I can say, I don't care about your feelings. Why should I? It doesn't mean that I want your feelings to be hurt, but that's not my control. So why is it something that I should be concerned with? It's like if I put out a piece of content and I wanted to make sure everyone liked it. I want to put out something that everyone likes. Good luck with that. Most people aren't going to like things anyway. Like you can't cater to people. You can't say things and try to like rub everyone's fucking taint. And that's what a lot of people are trying to do. They're trying to tiptoe over everything and, you know, walk on fucking eggshells. And that's why movies and TV shows like the James Bond shit, that's why everything's fucking crumbling because people don't want to be pandered to. You know, we've evolved over thousands of years, millions of years based on meritocracy, right? Cream rises to the top. If you're good and you're better and you're smarter and you are or more physically capable, like you're going to thrive. It's like survival of the fittest. If you're better at something, you're going to be better at something. You should be rewarded for it. That's why communism doesn't work. So, you know, it's a meritocracy. It's like fucking do better, produce value, create something, do something, or don't do something. It's like you can't control what other people do. You can't control other people's feelings. You can't make everyone happy. It's impossible. So, whatever. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird, man. It's weird. And look, like I said, you know, here on the show, when it's, you know, whether you're black, you're white, you're green, you're purple, I don't care what gender, I don't care what sexuality. If you say stupid shit, we're going to talk about it. Like, I don't care where you're from or what you look like. If you say dumb shit, you're saying dumb shit. If you're a jabroni, you're a jabroni. If you're a jabbernet, you're a jabbernet. Like, it's, equal opportunity rage. If you say dumb shit, you say dumb shit. I can't control what you say, but I can respond to it. Your opinion and my opinion. And it's like, words are violence. No, it's not. No, they're not. Why? Because they're not. Just because you are super sensitive doesn't change reality. Sticks and stones. All right. This one is called lip filler. So this is the chick. We got another one. I know. Talk about stupid. So we got another stupid post.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a
So
clown.
this is the chick that was saying the other day that you're racist if you're like suntanning. I don't know. It's like, I guess because your body absorbs sun's rays. I guess evolution is racist. I don't know. But she's talking about lip filler. So I guess if you get lip filler, I'm not a fan of lip fillers anyway. They look weird. But I guess you're trying to be like a black person because you're stealing their lips. You're appropriating like thick lips or some shit. I don't know. It's going to be stupid. So let's see what it is.
Let's talk about lip filler. If you currently have lip filler, warning, you're not going to like this video. Generally speaking, if you're white, warning, you're not going to like this video. We just finished talking about white people and tanning. Click this comment to go see that discussion. Now let's move on to the lips. I'm going to say this and a lot of y'all are not going to like it, but I do not care. Lip filler is cosmetic blackface.
I think it's cosmetically stupid. I think lip filler in most cases just looks terrible, but it's definitely not blackface. It's definitely not blackface. You know what's blackface? Making your face black. That would be blackface. Lips are not blackface. If you make your face black, that's called blackface. You know why? Because it's a face that's black. Let's continue.
Betsy, one of my mutuals, was one of the first people I saw talk about this, but I'm just going to add in my little 2 cents. Because it pisses me the fucketh off to see that these big, juicy, voluptuous lips, something that I used to get.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of retardation coming out of those lips. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I didn't notice like the diameter of them, but there's a lot of stupid sounds coming out of them.
Fun of as a child heavily is now being glorified by white people. Now all the white people want it. I know that a lot of us are a product of our environment and we're bombarded by what we see in the media, and a lot of y'all are like, oh, this is the new beauty standard? Okay, I want this. But the reason I mentioned specifically white people is because y'all have the privilege of not having to actually think about where that shit comes from. So let's look at
now, wait.
History quickly, shall we? Here's an example of a classic minstrel getup. For those who don't know, minstrel shows were a form of racist American entertainment. I'm not going to go in depth to educate you on the details. You can Google it yourself. But this is how we were depicted. Notice the big red lips that they would emphasize. Our big, juicy, voluptuous motherfucking lips were the butt of y'all's joke.
Oh,
something that we were heavily, heavily, heavily scrutinized for up until very recently.
Not really that recently, not in your lifetime, but all right.
Then y'all decided that it was cute, and you decided that you wanted it, so you took it.
Yeah, look, first off, don't hold all white people responsible for what fucking Beverly Hills, uber wealthy chicks that don't want to age, that have way too much time and way too much money, don't hold us all responsible, just like we shouldn't hold all black people responsible for all crime, right? Am I right? Oh, shit. Ain't that a flip? So all y'all white people are racist because some people get lip filler. Well, I guess we shouldn't be talking about stereotypes. Stop creating stereotypes. How about that? You have someone that has like... This chick is like she's trying so hard to not, well, I guess she is racist, but she's trying so hard to like justify it as if, our society hasn't improved dramatically over time. Like, notice how there's no more slavery. Notice how there's no slavery. That's a huge improvement. No one's a favorite. No one's a fan of that. No one's a fan of slavery. No one is. Lip fillers. I think a lot of people aren't a fan of lip fillers. I mean, there's a lot of plastic surgery. There's a lot of plastic surgery that is just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. So for the small percentage of anyone that gets lip filler, I mean, we don't hold the entire, white people are racist because some people get lip filler. So I guess the same would go for like, not all black people are criminals just because black people are responsible for most of the violent crime in this country. I don't think that all black people are criminals. But if you look at the data, it's like, it's easy to make those stereotypes. So how about we not make stereotypes? How about this chick, this girl I think she needs to get a fucking job. And I'm not saying she doesn't have a job because she's black. What I'm saying is she needs to get a job because she has a lot of energy. She has a lot of energy. She has a lot of time on her hands to think about all this ridiculous shit. So I'm assuming that she has a lot of free time, which makes me think like she needs to either double up or she needs to fill her time more wisely. Like just complaining online, perpetuating racism and stereotypes, it's not effective. Like imagine if she channeled all that race baiting. Imagine if you channel that into like something tangible, like something creative, something valuable to society. Like imagine like, understanding history, but like living in the past, holding people today responsible for what happened hundreds of years ago, like holding people today for crimes or things that their ancestors did. I don't think people would be driving BMWs. I don't think people would be, think about all the things that we buy like Japanese electronics and shit. Like they fucking bombed Pearl Harbor. Of course we bombed the fuck out of their country too. But, you have to let the past be the past as well. You can learn from it, but you can't hold people responsible today. This is like revisionist history, holding people responsible today for what happened hundreds of years ago. It's like all white people are evil because there was slavery. There's still slavery today in the world. There's still genocide going on right now in countries like China. There's still horrific shit going on in the Middle East, constant stonings and executions and stuff for what we look at as like petty crimes over here, or not even a crime. So like, cheating and, outside of marriage, you get like fucking executed in like Saudi Arabia or these other countries. You can fact check that, it's like the penalties are extreme. So you can't hold people responsible today by like today's standards. We don't have slavery today in this country. So you can't hold people responsible for what happened 200, 300 years ago. A lot of people, they don't understand progress. And this is because you're living today. You're living today in an amazing world. You're living today in a world where technology is ubiquitous in this country, at least. You have amazing freedoms, opportunities to grow regardless of your socioeconomic status when you're born. Like you have the ability to navigate through society, most or many cultures, if you are born in like the poor, like stratosphere, like, if you're born at a low socioeconomic status, like you can't move. Like there's other, like in India, like there's certain class structures that you just can't get out of. You're born poor. You're kind of like always poor. It's not easy to navigate throughout society and you can't like level up in the same manner. So you live in a great society, you live in a great country, you live in a great place with amazing technology, and you don't really have many hardships. So what are you doing? Sitting on your couch, blaming and getting angry about a small percentage of women in general, blaming it on white women being racist because you're judging people based on the color of their skin, which is ironic, and about getting like plastic surgery. Everyone has the option to get plastic surgery. Like black women get breast implants, lip implants, people get facelifts, people get Botox, people like, who cares? Who cares? Like, do you want to keep this shit around? You want to keep this shit around? You want to bring it back? Why can't we move forward? Well, we have progressively moved forward and forward and forward and forward, but you have the left, you have these social justice warriors that are actually bringing it back, because if it goes away, these people are going to have nothing to talk about. If it keeps on getting better as it has been decade after decade after decade, what are these race grifters going to talk about? What are they going to talk about? What are they going to complain about? You kind of have to keep on having an other. You have to keep on having an other to have your cult, to keep on having your following and your audience, to keep on getting attention, because you're not providing value, just sowing hate and racism, which is pretty hypocritical because you're talking about how it's cosmetic blackface. Are you fucking retarded? Cosmetic blackface. Because a woman that wants to plump up her lips, a lot of people do irrational things. Most people that do that doesn't look good. It's not cosmetic blackface. It's just getting stuff put in your lips because they want bigger lips. Women want bigger tits. Women want a bigger ass. Women want, I don't know, cheek lift or a nose job or to color their hair or to do these different things to attract men because they think men want that. And most of the time, men don't want that shit because it looks weird. So anyway, anything that we missed? Anything that we missed? I don't think so. For fuck's sake, man. Oh my God. You know? I mean, it'd be different. Like if people were going and being like, I'm going to get like, you know, cosmetic, I'm going to get plastic surgery blackface. That'd be weird. If like you have people that are just dyeing their face black. Like, okay, we could talk about that. That's fucking crazy. I mean, people get crazy body tattoos and things like that, but yeah, I mean, you know, lip filler, that's a stretch there, Mochambo. That's a stretch. That's a big time stretch. I ain't picking up what you're putting down. Anyway, hashtag SwoleNormus, hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag SwoleFam, hashtag what's the card today? I forgot. Tainty Magooch. That's Tainty Magooch. All right, SwoleNormusX.com. Join the fam today. I lost my train of thought. That was so ridiculous. I love these videos. And look, I wish her the best. But I mean, come on. Like actually create something that's actually helping people come together, you know, create a product or create some kind of like education. Don't be sitting there just like raging about women getting lip injection. It's cosmetic blackface. Talk about being desperate for attention, trying to make a viral video. That's one of the problems with, you know, the internet or social media today is that the more extreme shit that you do and say, the more views and likes and stuff you get. So people just keep on pushing it. They keep on doing more extreme shit. People just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And it just gets to the point where it's like, all right, now you're so far off the cliff. It's so exposed. It's so ridiculous. That's right. I'm just a dude dressed as another dude playing another dude. I'm confused.
You went full retard, man.
Yeah. Huh. What you mean, you people?
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
All right, hashtag Tainty Magooch. I think we have an amazing Tainty Magooch today. I want to give a shout out because I think he's watching live. But bro, we got our very own is just fresh out of surgery. Mike, congratulations on today's Swole card. I think you already know. I think you're still watching live, Mike. Everyone let Mike know that he won today's Swole card. I think you're still watching live. You deserve it, Mike. Congratulations on a successful hip surgery and perhaps an oversized hospital gown, perhaps. Best wishes on your recovery, Mike. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormus.com. Swole card 2048 in the subject, your mailing address in the bio of the email. The Swole fam's here for you. Keep us posted, bro. Keep us posted as to your progress and to your recovery, and don't be bummed out. Don't be stressed out. Just keep on doing what you can do. Keep on focusing on getting better, meditate, join us on the Mancast, and eat right, eat well, do the best that you can. And hopefully you'll be back in no time. Technology and modern medicine is amazing for the most part. Just make sure
attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't have any doctors like that tending to you, and you should be fine. Congratulations, Mike. Hey, have a sexy recovery. I like that, Wax. Have a sexy recovery. Mike, sexy recovery, mate. Yeah, have a sexy recovery. All right, let's nut this beach. Congratulations, Mike. Send us that email. And everyone else, join the fam today for less than the price of a Mocha Choca Fuckaccino. SwoleNormusX.com and join the fam today. You get access to yesterday's live stream as well as fam, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thursday, we have our SwoleFam Roundtable, which is a live call between myself and members of the fam. It's great. It's going to start at 6 p.m. It will go until 8 p.m. It's going to be awesome. So join us for that. It will be absolute fire, and that's available with all memberships. Again, SwoleNormusX.com. And let's nut this beach. Falcon, take us away, please. Indeed, my little hairy nip beach.
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Look at my record.
I got hairy legs.
You're insane, Gold member.
All right, fam. Go enjoy the rest of your day, beaches. It's going to be an amazing day. Isn't it? I can feel it. Go make some sick fucking gains. You hear? Ya heard? Oh, yeah.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
What kind of country is this? I love all people. I love all beaches. Just don't be a boosh. Or you'll end up like Tainty Magooch. We don't want any tainties around here. I don't care what color your skin is. Just don't be a Tainty Magooch, please. For fuck's sake.
He's on fire!
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn.
Soundboard never gets old.
Blonde in the sun. And the kid used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
He's got hairy legs. Hold on, I gotta unspool. It's got a quick release. Oh, that tactical piano cock. Nice. There we go. All right, fam. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go make some sick fucking gains. Congratulations again to Mike. We'll be back tomorrow for episode 20 hundo and 49 of the sleaze. Very excited. Again, download your copy of the 7 Pillars. Join the fam today. All that SwoleNormusX.com and save 10% off all apparel at papaswolio.com. Use code DailySwole for 10% off. Get your Swole variant gear. Get your Swole since birth gear. Get your SwoleFam gear. Go to the fucking gym gear. Get all the gear. Cover your nips with the best apparel in the game over there at papaswolio.com. All right, fam. We'll see you tomorrow for 2049. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in a fanny pack, couple hundred in a Louis bag.
That's a bag that
Stacking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no